Welcome to the continuation of our first discussion on the first topic. We are going to wind up using this particular subtopic, the roles of the human resource manager. We are saying the first one is to fully develop knowledge of corporate culture, plans and policies. So the human resource manager is in charge of the way things are done in an organization. That is what we call culture, plans, and also the development of policies, what we call guidelines towards the conducting of a number of activities in the organization. The other one is to initiate change where necessary and act as a facilitator. So the need to introduce change is quite critical, and the human resource manager will play a crucial role in doing that. For example, new staff, new ways of doing things around the staff, and so on and so forth. The other one is to be a consultant to change. So very many times, even other departments consult the human resource manager in relation to changes around the staff working hours, changes around the staff payments, and so on and so forth. So he or she is an important personnel around the organization. The other one is to ensure communication remains open to the human resource department and individuals, and also groups inside and outside the organization. So is a central point in terms of communication between departments, between even other organizations, to ensure that everything is running smoothly. The next one is to identify and advance HR strategies that match the company's business strategy. The other one is to develop particular organization teams and assist in the effective working relationship between teams. So teamwork, team activities, they are quite crucial for the success of the organization. The other one is to ensure that the organization's goals are achieved by effective cooperation of employees. That one is quite important function or role of the human resource manager. We'll go to topic number 2, where we discuss training, and we are saying it is the process of increasing knowledge and skills of employing or of employees for doing a particular job. The need for training, we say that training is needed because universally things are changing. We are moving on to new ways of doing things, and we intend to ensure that everyone adopts new ways in the field of science and technology. Post-COVID, we are doing so many meetings on Zoom, so many meetings on Teams, and we need this particular knowledge to ensure that everything is working smoothly. So training is quite important around that. The other one is it is needed to create a team of trained, efficient, and capable managers for the benefit of the organization. That is very important. And the other one is needed in order to improve the culture of the organization, the way of doing things of the organization. We can change that through training. Maybe there was a wastage of time and so on, wastage of raw materials. We can do that through training. The need for training, we are saying it is needed in order to develop manager personalities and make them capable of accepting new responsibilities. The other one is it is needed to raise the efficiency of staff. We want employees to be able to continually work in a better way because training has been done to them. The other one is needed for their self-development, which is necessary for promotion. So individuals and employees also need to develop, and that can only be achieved through training and improving the skills of employees. We're also saying that it is needed in order to avoid managerial obsolescence. Obsolescence is what we call outdated. We do not want our managers, our staff to become outdated. So we regularly introduce them to training to enable them to continue to remain relevant. For example, in the field of computers, every day we are having new things around the computer world, and we need our staff to be able to be trained. Very many certifications and so on and so forth that needs to be done. The other one is necessary in order to develop cordial relations and also for raising efficiency and profitability of the business unit. We look at some few benefits of training. The first one is job satisfaction, and we are saying through training an employee is able to gain self-confidence in handling the job assigned to him. Through training also, employees are able to gain higher output of quality goods. Through training, we can also experience fewer accidents, because if it is the operation of machines, then we are able to reduce that because we have trained staff on how the machines need to be handled. Another benefit, we reduce the spoilage rate. Is it the spoilage of raw materials? Is it the wastage of time? All those are reduced through training. And we're also saying a reduction in number of complaints. Remember, organizations, we are dealing with staff, we are dealing with employees, and customers will always complain of what is happening, and we can be able to reduce those complaints by finding out what customers are complaining about. Maybe it is the attitude of the receptionist, and maybe that requires training. We can be able to do that. The other one is mastery in new methods. Continually, organizations are introducing new methods and new ways of doing things. So training will come in handy to ensure that one is achieved, And finally, training as a benefit, it leads to better use of resources, and these include the physical resources, the financial resources, the human resources, and so on and so forth. Challenges or disadvantages of training and development. We talk about training and skill development costs time and money. So it is costly, it is time consuming, costly in terms of resources. The other one is sparing extra time for training can be stressful for workers. So we need to have, that is a major disadvantage. Of course, there are those workers that don't want to be involved in such kind of training activities. So there arises wastage of time. According to them, they feel that is a waste of time. The other one is training sessions can be complicated. For example, for adult learning, one of the issues that bring complications is the introduction of exams in the training. That will bring complications. The other one is lack of interest. People are not willing to take part in these trainings, and that is a major disadvantage. Maybe they have been discouraged because of cost and because of other things. And the other one is switching to a new job. People are not willing to take part into this training, especially those trainings that are putting them on the need to engage or take part in a new job. Then we look at the methods of training. We have what we call on the job and off the job. On the job are training methods that happen within the organization. We have what we call orientation or induction. This one is meant for new employees, and it is sole objective is to adopt a specialized job. I think I mentioned that in our previous discussion on topic number 1. Then we have on-the-job coaching. Superior teaches job knowledge and skills to subordinates. Managers, he briefs the trainee executive about what is expected of them. So that one is done between the superior and the subordinate. The subordinate is always being given a brief of what they are supposed to do. And then, of course, the role of the superior is to check what is happening. The other one is understudy statement. Under this method, a certain person is specifically designated to take up the position of his superior after completing training with the superior. So you work with your superior, then after that you are given the responsibility of taking up that particular role that the superior was training you on. That is under study. You are studying or getting training under someone. Then we have on the job continuation. We have delegation. So this one is the sharing of responsibility as a senior manager or as a human resource manager or any other manager in the organization. You can share these responsibilities with your staff to ensure that they also get to learn through them. The other one is promotions and transfers. This one means giving higher position to a worker. So we give that. That also enables the staff to learn by being taken to a higher position or a higher cadre from what you are working on. And then we have what we call a refresher training. Refresher training is like a training for you to remind yourself what is happening around your skill. For example, those that have done computer skills, driving skills, and they have stayed long without training, they will seek this kind of training for them to remind themselves of what is happening around their craft. Then we have off-the-job methods. We have training by management institutions, like now we are doing with Mask College of Business and Technology. Once you have enrolled for this particular course, then we can say that is training by management institutions. Then we have conferences and seminars. Large enterprises may employ qualified and trained personnel to conduct specific lecture courses suited to the needs of different categories. Then we have brainstorming. This is a method that is used or adopted by groups to ensure that they can exchange ideas, and from those ideas they can make conclusions about various subject matters. Then we want to know how to be able to identify training needs. So we do that by carrying out what we call a need assessment, which we are saying is a systematic exploration of the way things are and the way they should be. So it is associated with the organization and individual performance. So why do we need to conduct a training need assessment? The first one is to determine what training is relevant to your employees' jobs. The other one is to determine what training will improve the performance. The other one is to determine what training will make a difference to the staff. The other one is to be able to distinguish training needs from the organization problems. Sometimes the organization is having a lot of problems, and they may not necessarily be because the staff are lacking some training. So we need to distinguish the issues addressed because of carrying out training need assessments. The other one is to link improved performance with organization goals and the bottom line. So we need to look at what is the organizational performance, what is the minimum expectations that we need to do to conduct a particular training. And finally, we look at situations that will tell you as a person practicing human resource management that you need training in the workplace. The first one is new recruits to the company. So when we have new employees, that tells you that it is an avenue for you to conduct training. Then transferees, maybe you have transferred people, promotions, new plant and equipment, new procedures, new standards, rules and practices, new relationships and authority that have been created maybe through the organizational structure. The other one is maintenance standards. The other one is maintenance of management skills and standards. And finally, retirement and redundancy. When somebody's term comes to an end through retirement, or they have been declared unwanted, what we call redundancy, then that is a need for training to be done. So that is an end of those particular slides for topic number 2. I believe that they have been engaging and you have been able to learn from them.